When I was first diagnosed with diabetes, I thought I was going blind. There had been a lot of office flu going around, and I didn't feel very well, and I pushed myself to attend one last contract meeting that I needed to do for the agency, and then I promised myself I would go home, and I hadn't taken a sick day in 10 years. So I told everyone I was going home, but on my way home, I could not see straight, and there were halos around my vision. So I drove directly to my eye doctor's office because I had always been afraid of going blind as a child. And my dad has macular, so I thought something terrible was going on with my vision. So he had me, he did the eye exam and everything, and then he looked at me and he said, "There's nothing wrong, everything's fine, your eyes look great." And then he said, "What have you been eating?" And I said, Jell-O, ginger ale, ice cream, because it was the only thing staying down, and saltines. And he said, "I think you have diabetes." And he wouldn't let me leave the office until I made an appointment with my internist, because I just thought this was a fluke. And okay, maybe my sugar was high, but it was a fluke. So then I did keep the appointment with the internist, told her I didn't really need to keep it. We kidded around a bit, but she did draw blood, and then she spent about 3 weeks trying to get my attention, and I didn't realize she had been calling, and in those days they hadn't had you yet sign the permission that your husband could take your calls. So she finally wrote me and told me that I had diabetes and that she needed to see me immediately, and I was to pick up a prescription at the drugstore. So that was a lot of denial going on right at the very beginning, and I still was having a hard time with it. I still thought it was sort of a one-time thing that my sugars were high, but that's not true, and I do have diabetes. So I've had to fight my way through accepting the disease, because I think the other thing, other than that one episode, I felt fine, and that's the crazy thing about diabetes. You can be walking around with it, and you may need naps if you've overeaten or something of that nature, but as a type 2, I didn't collapse. I didn't see any physical signs that I couldn't do what I'd always been able to do. The slowing down of not doing as much physical activity, I thought, like getting out of breath, climbing a flight of stairs, I just thought had to do with age. That's not true. I can do stairs very well today. No out of breath.